Good morning, good afternoon, good. Everything to you. Well, why things are good? I have no actually single reason to feel sad. There's a lot of magic opportunities to feel tariff stress free, which is a fun joke to mention. But nevertheless, it's Friday and we have a great guest speaker with me today, Sir. Hi to you. How are you doing today?
Hi, hi everyone. Thanks for having me today. Happy to be here.
Indeed, but before we start talking about Race on Life, what is all this about? Why GameFi is one of ways to go for the mass adoption, and what's really special about Race on Life? I want to know a little bit more about yourself. So, what the role you playing in Race of Life, and what kind of builder are you?
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. I'm Sir Hi. Today I'm representing eLife Game Studio, sorry. We are the team behind Stickman Mafia and our main project Race on Life that you probably see on the screen. Um, if keep the story short, we have two games right now. Stickman Mafia is like Web3 adaptation of the classical game, but with the opportunity to join with your phone and play with your games or within your community. And Race on Life, it's rather more complicated product. You can think of it as of GTA with an open world, with an action adventure with a lot of opportunities. And I will share more info later today.
Indeed, looking forward for learning a bit more about the future of GameFi. But speaking about GameFi and back to GTA, you mentioned it too. How much the concept of GameFi, real racing in time, and racing environment actually naturally align with the GameFi experience and a usual gaming experience.
Yeah, so uh, la- later on we are speaking about esports, and I wouldn't say I'm an esport expert myself, though our studio founder Yuri, for example, has played pretty much everything you can think of, and the background really influenced how the team built the race and life. There is a soccer, racing, derby mechanics in the game that could easily fit into the esports category, and maybe before answering this question fully, it makes sense to quickly explain that built with Racing Life. So, as an open world action adventure game with players have a spectrum of experiences they can check in with, like exploring a large map, driving and racing, using weapons and defend capture territories, interacting with other players in online modes, and of course developing your own character as a part of a big economy. And if we talk about esports and GameFi working together, it actually feels pretty natural for me, because both are built on competition, right? Skills and the excitement of performance. But GameFi adds something new, and we all here for the ability to earn, ability to own, and participate financially, even if you are not the one playing directly, right? Because sometimes when we speak about some classical games like Counter Strike or Dota, if you are not the guy who is really good at playing, probably you stay outlined without any chance to participate and earn it. But in racing life, for example, we can um, participate and race as a driver for rewards. If you have money, you can buy the car and rent this car to the driver who is really good at it. And if you are not a driver or a person who can own the car, you can still bet on a guy who is driving and earn on on betting. And of course, you can stake tokens on the outcome of different PvP events. So even if you're not a top player, you're still part of the loop and you can contribute, support, or earn in other ways. So I think that's the beauty of it. So esports bring engagement and GameFi brings and adds opportunity to this. And together it creates pretty interesting experience.
Speaking of the interesting experience, so are you witnessing something new, like a new gender of a gaming, or it's just a natural evolution of the whole gaming industry in general?
So we're living in 21st century, and probably everything we are going to discuss is already exist or was created before. And to me, it feels more like natural evolution. Esports is expanding into something broader. Where it's not just about top players anymore, as I said before. GameFi brings mechanics that allow viewers, sponsors, asset holders, and even casual players to be part of the ecosystem. And it's kind of like adding a new layer to on top of what already exists. And traditional games gave us fun and competition, and we usually just playing at home or online. And GameFi adds ownership and financial upside. And we are not replacing anything; we are just upgrading it because even Web2 games like um, as in the previous examples, Dota, Counter Strike, you already had some elements of GameFi, right? You can players traded skins, you can join tournaments, even made real money on platform like Steam, and but the problem it was not fully open. It's still centralized, so economy is under control of publishers. And GameFi opened this up, and if we look at GTA Online, for example, it's already pushing sandbox gameplay. You can choose your path, take on job, buy assets, and generally build a digital life. And I believe the next GTA, what is GTA 6, gonna end up on focusing more on in-game economies and social interaction, which we expect it will. That something we are building in GameFi is already heading in this direction. And we try to bring these blockchain-based tools to make ownership and value as real and transparent. And we are not completely there, but we are trying to make it more real. And we are just evolving to a more open, player-driven future. So I will sum up. It's not something totally new, but we just adding a new layer to what already exists.
Speaking of new layers, do you think that GameFi is one of the easiest way to onboard new members to the blockchain? The ones who really do not know what blockchain is or somehow heard about it, but really want to touch it through a very easy onboarding experience.
You know, a part of my journey in crypto is NFT. And sometime before, even like 2 3 years ago, NFTs was easiest way to onboard new people and gather new followers because you just hire a good collab manager, you distribute whitelists, and a lot of people join in your community with hope to grind and get some whitelists. Same story with games because usually games start with an NFT collection. They're distributing whitelists, setting up few competitions that allows you to get one, and you pretty quickly get new followers that become a core community for your game. And it's probably the easiest way to onboard already existing users in Web3. But we should understand that most Web3 games and generally Web3 products probably are built for existing crypto users. And most of them focused on farming and earning money, no matter if it's through swaps on or bridges on DeFi or it's gaming, doesn't matter. And probably that's fine. We all here to earn, and that's okay. But for gamers who just want to have fun and get some high quality experience, right? You at weekends you want to play something good. Most of Web3 users are not gonna choose Web3 games, and because sometimes it's too plain. I mean, not fascinating enough, and that's understandable. So the biggest market everyone in Web3 dreams of tapping into is those people in Web2 gamers who are willing to pay for a good game, right? It's people who know they are gonna pay $50 and have a great game. They're gonna have a great time. They are not thinking about earning, just about experience. However, onboarding such people, it's a big challenge because it's not about the sale you're gonna make. It's about educational process you have to complete to explain what blockchain is, how it integrates with the game, and let's be honest, wallets, keys, bridges, it's pretty complicated for people at when you first see it. Do you remember your first experience with wallets?
Oh yeah, it was funny 5 years ago. So it was very random because I started my journey as a support manager, right? And I was given some assets to the exchange, and then they asked, okay, so now you need to go this journey yourself and extract this, assets to your own wallet. And I'm like, what is happening? Because back in the time, and even 5 years ago, there were so much less educational materials. You go to Twitter and you roughly can find something, and if you find something it's kind of very hardcore, very hardcore. And then you go to YouTube and you try to find some articles. So yeah, it was fun, but I also can recall other experience when my grandma called me and she said, what is Bitcoin? And she's kind of almost 80 years old, right? She's like, what is Bitcoin? Do we have a Bitcoin? How do I have one Bitcoin? What are wallets? And I went actually go, I went through all the things like what wallets are and what Bitcoin is and why this is might be a future. It's even for that generation, it's good to learn and understand. And yeah, I'm proud of my grandma actually having Bitcoin. And sometimes she's checking some of the projects. Sometimes she's exploring Magic Store too. So I think you touched a very good thing that is, not every project is about grading the rewards or farming the things. And educational is also must be involved. But what I actually think is that the next step in Web3 education is not only about how to become DeFi pro or how to navigate through multi-chain simply, but also about holding culture or the culture of where you understand that there is a thing such as assets that you can actually use in a different kind of approaches that also can benefit you as a part of the community, and building as a community matters too because you can also bring a lot of much more value rather than you are a developer or you're a creator or concept designer, because community is the heart of anything you build. Because I personally think that Web3 has been built by dreamers for dreamers and by people for people for a reason, because we want to create something better that existing already in the world. So yeah,
True.
I'm
Yeah.
speaking too
I
much.
bet. I bet when your grandmother asked about Bitcoin, it was high time to sell.
Oh yeah, it was the best time to sell, but
Yeah, and I
some
was
people say do not sell your Bitcoin, sell your kidney but not the Bitcoin.
yeah, and it's a great that she's interested. She's learning something new, and it's totally interesting for even older generation. But uh, like last week, I had a lesson in university with the students, and it's like people of my age and probably younger. And this is an audience of 40 people, and I ask guys, how many of you use crypto wallets? And it was just one guy who said he owns one. So we are living in a bubble, and we think everyone knows about crypto and about Bitcoin and wallets, but to be honest, it's not. And for people who try to have a first touch with a Web3 product, it's pretty complicated to understand how it works. And you was probably motivated with your salary, and I have to send this. I want to withdraw my cash, and with this motivation, it works great. You learn new things and then you start using them. But with this game, it's much more complicated. It's a big challenge. So the real unlock happen when you make everything as simple as possible. So when you open a game, you want to see the experience where you just click play, right? Have a wallet created automatically in the background for you, which you can export lately, right? And you earn and use in-game assets without ever having to worry about underlying blockchain. So the best product and the best Web3 game is game which not showing you blockchain at all, and that's a big thing. In at Eli Studio, we are working hard to make that a reality, and players should be able to jump into a car, start racing without any realizing it's a blockchain based game. And probably we should mention that Immutable, building a lot of tools that allows implementing a wallet in a game without any additional steps. Products like Privy, right? We see a lot of games that you can enter and you not even see your wallet, you just start using it. And that's something that will help us bring Web2 users on board with minimal friction. And in our view, traditional play to earn model is a little bit broken because when people play just to earn money, in a long perspective, it will drain your treasure, and that's it. And nobody gonna play it again, even if game was pretty good. So we're trying to focus on play and earn approach, where the focus in is on enjoying the game, and while you are playing and enjoying your game, you can benefit from it as a natural extension of this experience.
I really like that you touched the concept of invisible blockchain, which is yet far yet to become a reality. But yeah, looking forward to see that future to be bright. And I also have something to add what you said about generation that have not touched the crypto yet. I went through studies recently, and I was quite excited to know that Gen Z generation is much more into crypto than we are. So. Not almost 80% of whole Gen Z population already tried blockchain, which is fun to know. And yeah, I think they're learning much faster than it took us time. Just only because there are more resources in terms of generated content, open network, and much more. Speaking of the open opportunities and race on life, so you guys have a lot of fun futures, right? So let's get deeper into it and cover some more of them. Please let us know.
You mean our future plans?
No, I mean features. Like what does actually STEM makes you apart from other
Oh,
projects?
okay.
A bit about your token, a bit about your NFTs, a bit of everything.
If you don't mind, can we watch a short promo video I sent you before so everybody can check what the game actually looks like? And I will develop this topic further, explaining what they saw.
Sure. Let me try now. I'm changing my screen for something else, which is YouTube, a place we all like to follow and learn. Okay, look, subscribe. All right. That is all right. That was kind of spicy. So let's dig in and learn a bit more.
I love it so much. This video was created before I joined the team as a marketing lead, and it all of the development happened in the house. So founders made a great job during the last 2 years building a game that uh, is playable, is looking great, and having mechanics that allows people to join and enjoy this game at any age and at any time. Because, as you mentioned, Gen Z is more advanced than us. And imagine kids that 7, 8, 9, 10 years old can create their wallet and play this game. They're, and probably in some time then can also earn from this, and they don't need banks to withdraw, and that's it. Then just play. And if we talk about features, so again, Race on Life is not just about racing. It's an open world, story driven multiplayer universe where you can explore the map. As for now, we haven't closed but a few islands, but we're gonna focus on one where people can explore it, upgrade characters, capture territories, use weapons, and interact with others. And these mechanics we implemented not so much time before, and probably its first public announcement of these features. Because as for me, I love games where you can interact with other people, not just doing quests and just seeing people on leaderboard, but you can interact, seeing their avatar. And one of the features is that avatar you create in Race on Life is AI generated from your images. So you can create a copy of yourself in this universe, and this look great probably if our viewers are curious enough, they can check the page of Race on Life, scroll a little bit, and see how characters looks like. And in one of the video, there is a character of that looks like our founder Yuri, and it's really fascinating because you can use this character in the game or in your Twitter profile, and probably we have something in the pipeline that will help this avatar to be streamed outside of our game to some other game, for example. Another big thing is economy. Economy is was developed with the view that uh, let me bring this in a simple word. So most of the games try to launch NFT collection, launch token, and sometimes it's not even about the game. All of the money earned on these two stages, and then people just farm the treasury, as I mentioned before, and that's it. We want this game to be prosper in the long term, so the economy is building around different uh, earning models for us, like advertising in games, possibility to be sponsors during different events. We just saw a soccer match, like on cars, right? It's the last part of the video. During such events, you can advertise your company. You can put advertisement on cars. So we want to earn not from players, but from businesses. So it's like B2B model. But in the same time, as a player, you can own the car that has its own value. Car can participate in different events and earn money for owner and for driver. Also, you can bet on it. So a lot of different mechanics that help to keep the game alive for a long period of time, not just to give opportunity to people farm the token and dump it. So basically, economy gives you opportunity to own any item in the game, including cars, houses, flats. Another interesting thing that all of the all of the buildings in the game are made the way that you can enter it. I remember myself like 15 years ago playing GTA San Andreas, trying to break into the house that is closed, and even with some glitches, you can enter and it's empty and nothing there. In Racing Life, we use some tools that helps to generate these interiors. So any building you enter, you can see totally furnished flat. And we have something. Uh, Let me check. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that today.
It's like when the session goes so well and you want to share as much as possible.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, we actually have one collab in the pipeline, and later we publish this collaboration. But the interesting thing that people can bring their own items into the building they own or they enter. So imagine the avatar of yourself creating the building you are living in. And in something Sims game gave experience to us, and it was cool. And it probably something like this, but on blockchain and with the opportunity to sell those items. And it's pretty cool as for me. Also, you can bet, and betting is one of the narratives that in last 2 years bring a lot of people to Web3, right? Yeah. So and another good thing, in the games, people it's in such games where the world is open, where is a lot of adventures happening. There is an opportunity to build your own economy. Imagine you are the player and you catch a territory, you have a few buildings, and what you can create is like your own business. For example, you can hire people to farm items for you and resell it within the game. So basically people create their own economy and professions in the game, and that's something we want to give. We are not gonna plan everything for the player, but we want players to be the creators of the game themselves. And of course, our main topic today is esports, and it's those are mechanics that are really important for us. So we are bringing in tournaments, regular leaderboards, guild system, and of course, spectacular and betting modes. And it's all designed to support competitive gameplay.
Seems like a lot of cooking and looking forward to test and try it out too. Very last question before we complete the session and finish on a good side. How do you see Race on Life in 2 years or a year time duration and how the whole GameFi experience going to change?
Yeah, so before we move, I would probably add that a lot of cooking, and if we talk about race in life, there is chance for people. Uh, like usually, we allow people to participate in closed beta tests, where you can explore islands that are not flooded with players right now, and usually those are friends, family, or people who are from like um, collaborative communities, right? But today we will give opportunity to other players to jump in and probably try this game for themselves, but it's very limited. And I will share it at the beginning of our meeting today. So so I want everyone to be with us till the end, where we can share those little prizes with you. So yeah, if we're talking about esports and GameFi and race and life in terms of 2 years, crypto is probably the most difficult mm, economy, and it's the most difficult thing to plan, right? The last year, especially the last 3 months, is something that we can describe with the word unpredictable. And we all understand that if Bitcoin crashes, the interest to most of the product is getting lower and lower. And even if it's game, we understand that most of the people will be frustrated with the market and probably will not participate in any activities that we arrange in, right? So planning on 2 years from now is pretty complicated, but I will try to share some of my thoughts. And first of it is we need to move from unsustainable play to earn loops to something more stable. Like tokenomics should reward skill, whether that through skill to earn, watch to earn, own to earn, and play and earn. And a major part of the challenge is the token problem. As I said, many projects launch token to raise funds, and then they see this token dumped, And when you, as a player, watching token of the game dumping, and you think that, okay, it's not profitable anymore, so I don't want to play this, even if the game was pretty cool. Because it's probably the psychology works that way, that when we just start playing, we program ourselves, I'm gonna earn or I'm gonna have fun. And that's a big problem. I see the solution for this by using not tokens, in-game tokens, but for example, using stable coins. If all of the payments made in USDC, projects can earn their fee. Probably they can launch their token, like governance token later. But after the period people used to the game, they play it for fun. They see what can they do without farming the token itself, and actually create an economy with a stable coin like USDC. And that's a big thing because we can we can see a lot of teams that has no money. Uh, they have money for developing, they have some money for marketing, but having a token is it's really expensive because you have to keep the ratio up, you have to keep the treasury up, you have to pay to market maker, and it's totally different business. If we are creating games, probably we should focus on this and let people use some token that they are familiar with. Uh, Another thing, it's cross-platform onboarding. So success will come from providing easy access across PC, mobile, and eventually consoles, which is more complicated. And what I forget to mention is with Race on Life, we trying to bring to life the mechanics where you can play on your PC at home, full version of this game. But while you're traveling and you have only, I don't know, phone, you can enter the game and play mini games like soccer, and that's a great way to keep the player attached to the game all the time without really overcomplicate developing for different gadgets. And that's the big thing. Games should expand their experience beyond their main gadget. For example, computer, smartphone, it's something that always with us and help to keep this connection all the time. Maybe you guys have any question with about what I said. I will check the comment section right now. If you have any question, please drop.
Yeah, we actually have some of the questions, but most of them we already went through. Explain, accept the leaderboard and how it works. Can you go a bit in details about that too?
Okay, then keep this in mind. I'll finish with the primer question, okay, and answer this. So another thing that I see in 2 years, it's mainstream adoption. Why? Because we can see what Abstract does, launching the series of streams, right? People joining, launching streams, and sharing what are they playing in Web3. And it's really great initiative. And we will if we will see esport teams like Face Clan, Team Liquid Clans, people who are professionally playing Counter Strike, Dota, and so on. If they will start embracing GameFi, it sends a clear signal to all of the players that it's safe to play, it's interesting to play, and their involvement will not only add credibility but also just broader adoption, right? Another big thing that I already mentioned, but probably should point it out, that we are at the stage of the developing of computers, internet, where we are not giving the product to people. People want to create the product by themselves. They want just to have tools. And that's something we should have in mind while creating the game. And think of regional tournaments powered by the community, or different leagues with real sponsors, betting pools, and streaming integration. Because we, with all of our overworked hours. We are not able to reach every country, every city, but players can. They can create it, local communities that play, they can earn from it, they can build their Twitters on this, right? And that's something that is already happening. And of course, that probably my ill imagination, but imagine winning a car in Race on Life and then being able to use it or race on it in different games, probably even within other blockchain. It's something that we can call interoperable assets, and it's something that blockchain can give us. Because winning a car in Race on Life, after some time, person can shift to other game, and it would be cool to exchange it or use it in somewhere else. It require a big level of communication between publishers, but within blockchain, it's really possible. So, in essence, GameFi Sports in next 2 years will be defined by sustainable economies, frictionless, um, great user experience, and strong community and ecosystem that supports both players and non-players. Yeah. And what was the question I missed?
Yeah, there was a question about can you explain a little bit more about how the leaderboard works in Race on Life and what kind of achievements are there for players to able to compare?
Yeah. So at the moment, we cannot dive into all of the achievements because game in the stage of development where we have main tools and main mechanics already done, but we are still working on what people can actually get from this. But leaderboards itself, you can imagine as few leaderboards that form from different activities. For example, you have this much money, you have this much cars. While participating in different activities like derby or racing, you are building your score rate, and in different leaderboards, you have different rate. For example, you can focus on racing only and be the top one there, and that's it, and that's enough. Probably you want to be successful in something else like soccer, and that's good. Or you are a guy who want everything uh, to buy everything but just a bit and be like a middle score in everything, and that will show a general leaderboard that sum up all of your success and put there. And probably we should talk not about the achievements it gives but probably about perks. And if we talk about perks, we can reward these people regularly from money that earn from commission, and that's something that boosts interest to be in different leaderboards on the winning positions. But as soon as it will be ready, it surely will be published on our Twitter.
And surely this is a great note to remind you all to make sure you follow both Magic Square and Race on Life on Twitter. If you're very new to Magic Square, well, you're just right on time and you are still early. And if you're very new to Race on Life, you're very early too. We are wrapping up the session, this full and interesting, insightful session. Very welcome to join the Magic Board link just right on our Twitter. So you can join, participate in the task, and actually have a nice, good things from Race on Life. But stay tuned with the community. Last but not the least, Serhai, last words from you, please.
Yeah, first of all, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to present today our game. And I would mention that eLife Studio is not only behind Race on Life. We are also creators of Stickman Mafia, as I said before, and a full list of tools that will be useful for different Web3 publishers. And beyond games, and for a long time, we were focused on purely on building. and we only recently started marketing. And now we would love to invite the Magic Square community to join and become part of our core community. And to celebrate, we're giving away 20 guaranteed spots for our upcoming mint, and holders will get access to closed playtests with rewards. Um, in simple words, you can access the game before everybody jumps in, and of course get some in-game items before everyone gets um, different campaign multipliers that will help you to reach top position in little leaderboard faster. Of course, different airdrops. Uh, we are not sure if it will be our token or partners token, but as a part of eLife Studio, we are publishing different games. And probably as a holder of this NFT, you will be eligible to get not one, but a few different tokens. And at the very beginning, I had an idea of such small competition. Like if you're a creator on Twitter, you can make a tweet or research or make some piece of content that mention topics we discussed today, or maybe you would like to tell more about Web3 gaming, or maybe you can create content about Race on Life. You just have to tag Race on Life and Magic Square IO, and we will check all of these publications and reward the best content in our opinion. But for all of the people who present today on this event, we will drop 20 guaranteed spots in a random way. Are you gonna help me with this, Kiwi?
Of course I am. Of course I'm happy to help. And thank you so much for joining us this Friday. A beautiful day, a beautiful time to build, and beautiful time to create a full world full of magic and opportunities. Sir, hi. Thank you so much for your time. Speak to you soon anyway, and let's catch up later on once again and see how far the game goes because I think it's gonna be very immersive, very exclusive, very interesting, and very must to play. Thank you everyone for joining in. Enjoy the weekends, touch some grass, and don't forget, be early on blockchain because if not you, maybe you will be set a little bit later. So thank you all and have a fantastic time.
Have a great weekend, guys. Bye bye.